Hi everybody, thanks Dwayne for that. Also just to say, it's just a personal thing I'm very happy about, we also run these awards in the US. So I think this is the 4th year we've done it here in the UK, and we've been running it in the US for about 8 years. But for this, particularly for this year, we literally had thousands of votes, and we had a lot more votes than the US. So I'm just really quite happy about that. Anyway, so I think most of you know Care2 well. We're the largest social network for good. We have nearly 40 million members globally, and we've had sort of the honour of recruiting lots of supporters, many for organisations in this room. But very much Care2 was founded on the idea that any act, if it's small or large, can in fact make a difference, which is really about where these kind of awards sort of come from. So I'm going to go through the finalists. Included in the finalist is the winner, but just to make the point that all of the finalists here are winners, and everyone's actually won a prize here of £250, which is great. So that's something new that we've done this year. So just before I get on to that, just a huge thank you to our judges. Some are returning judges, some are new judges this year. I don't know if any of you are in the room now, but massive thank you. We couldn't have done it without them. It's great to see a kind of really strong calibre of names and organisations who've kind of taken part in this prize. And I should say thank you to everyone here for voting, because without you and you didn't vote, then it wouldn't happen either. So also just a bit of feedback from the last prize. People were kind of really interested in what the judges thought, so quite text heavy there, but you can have a read. This is just some kind of glimpses and snippets and sort of nuggets from what the judges' thought process. So I'm going to just go through the finalists here, and I just want to make the point again that every single one of these finalists has won a runner-up prize, and they're all deserving of the Impact Prize. So the first one here, Craftivist Collective. I know Sarah's not very well and she can't be here, but they were runner-up for the M&S Living Wage campaign. As a result, 50,000 M&S employees had their pay increased to the level of the 2015 living wage. Right to Water. The Irish government moved to privatise the water infrastructure under the direction of the IMF, and just in a few short weeks, online and offline, the mobilisation led to 70,000 online petition signatures and 100,000 people protesting in Dublin. Change Herstory is a campaign to really kind of amplify the voices in the women's sector. And just one of the key achievements that they achieved was getting 135 MPs to show up on a Friday to vote for the private member's bill. Undivided is the UK's first nationwide youth-led campaign to demand the best possible deal for Brexit. And they've now got over 240,000 votes on key demands from young people between 13 and 29-year-olds. And the Microbeads Coalition, Ban the Bead, Marine Conservation Society, and Greenpeace, the Environment Investigation Agency, and Flora and Fauna International. And shortly after they actually launched the campaign, and I know it's a long campaign, but the UK government has in fact announced that they will be introducing a ban on microbeads. So I've just got a hold placing slide here and make sure I get the right envelope. So now we're kind of going to announce the winner, and I'm thrilled to announce that the winner of the 2017 Care2 Impact Prize is Right to Water. I've got an award for you as well. And I'm really happy that Eugene, on behalf of Right to Water, is going to accept this award. So, do you want to say a few words? I've actually got an award for you.
You have a real award?
I have a real award, yeah.
Okay, thanks very much, Rhiannon. So I suppose this is very humbling, and I suppose I worked with the Right to Water campaign on their digital strategy and digital implementation, and I still am on a consultancy basis, but I guess it's humbling from the perspective that I'm one of hundreds of thousands of people who could walk into this room and equally accept this award on behalf of Right to Water, because it was a national movement. But I think if that were to happen, Theresa May might have to rethink her border status with the Republic of Ireland. So it's also very humbling because the other shortlisted campaigns were simply amazing, and to be picked out from among such amazing campaigns is incredible in itself. I think the Right to Water stands out for me in from a few different bullet points, if you like, and it's kind of hard to summarize, I think, where the success lies. But I think change starts within, and it starts within your community. And this campaign started within the communities throughout Ireland. So it's about listening to those communities and speaking to their values and empowering them to create the change that they need to create. The other thing that it did that almost defies logic is it proved that coalitions can work. A coalition of unions, a coalition of community groups, and a coalition of politicians actually came together to make this happen. With that, I think I'd like to thank Care2 for recognising and including the word impact, because that's what makes this award, I guess, special, is that it is focused on the impact of the campaign. It's also very timely, and a huge coincidence that this is World Water Day. But it's timely in the fact that this campaign, it's not won yet. So I'll put this into context. On April the 14th, the commission that was set up by the Irish government are set to make recommendations on what should happen. And it looks like they're going to move to enshrine the right to water, and the right to water is a human right within the Irish constitution. But the government are having one last stab at scuppering it. So there's a protest on April the 8th to rise once again. So there have been 9 national protests at this stage. So the money will go straight into funding that protest and helping fund that protest. So with that, I guess, there's a little anecdote, and the irony isn't lost on me that standing here as an Irish person and being rewarded by a UK audience for our revolutionary spirit. But a little anecdote, so the word ishka is the Irish word for water, and ishka baha is translated into English as a version of Anglicization as whiskey. So whiskey is actually a mispronunciation of the word ishka, which is water. So with that, I'd like to invite you to join me later on to proclaim your right to ishka baha, the right to water. So thanks very much, everybody, and thanks for having me.